Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new disc golf video. Today I've got another disc comparison. We're going to be comparing the Star Destroyer from Anhyzer and the Biofusion Defender from Dynamic Discs. These are both distance drivers that are pretty similar actually. The Defender is 13.503 and the Destroyer is 12.5-13. So the only difference is that the Destroyer has -1 turn, the Defender has 0 turn. So according to the numbers, the Defender is going to be a bit more overstable. I've thrown both of these discs a decent amount of times, and I would say that adds up pretty well. We're going to throw these both backhand and forehand, compare them, and we're going to see which one's better. Obviously, it's going to come down to feel and which one feels more comfortable in your hand, or if you have a preferred manufacturer, obviously go with that, but we're going to compare them in this video. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys, so starting out, I'm just going to release these on kind of my stock release, just a normal release, just a little bit of Anhyzer, and we'll see how they react. I doubt any of these will flip on just like a smooth Anhyzer, but we'll see. Yep, holds it pretty well. I do want to mention the Destroyer's a little bit more beat in. The Defender's pretty new, so keep that in mind. I don't think it'll affect the flight very much, but we'll see. Yeah, both of those are really overstable on a Anhyzer, just not throwing it very hard. Now we're gonna kind of pick up the power a little bit. Next throws, I'm gonna throw Anhyzer flat and Anhyzer, see how they react, then we'll switch to forehand. All right guys, now we're gonna pick up the power a little bit. Those were just smooth stock releases. I do those with every disc I compare, but now we're gonna pick up the power a little bit, see if they will flip. Either of these wants to flip, I doubt it, but we're gonna see. Then we'll move to flat, then to Anhyzer, and then to forehand. So, Destroyer is up first. All right, that did flip. I know I hit that tree, but that actually did flip a little bit, so that's a little bit surprising, but I guess I have increased my arm speed a bit since I've done that, but Defender, here we go. Nope. All right, Defender's not gonna flip. I didn't expect it to. It's very overstable. It's got no turn on it. It's just 0-3. So that's the first kind of difference. Destroyer will flip on a Anhyzer. Defender will not, at least for my arm speed. So move on to flat. All right guys, we're gonna move on to the flat release. Now keep in mind, I'm not throwing these 100% power. I do have a tree line back there that I don't wanna go into, so I am throwing these probably around 80%, but we're gonna release these flat. I'm gonna be interested to see if this Destroyer is gonna turn or not. We'll see. A little bit, yeah. Yep. Destroyer turns a little bit flat. Good to know. All right. Defender flat. Here we go. Nope. That Defender, man, it is stable out of the box. So, Destroyer's turning, it's flipping. That -1, even though it's only one difference between a 0 and a -1, it makes a lot of difference when you throw it. So keep that in mind when you're comparing these two discs. -1 to 0 may not seem like a huge difference, but you just saw it's a pretty big difference. All right guys, now we're on the Anhyzer here. With how things are going, I'd say this will hold for a good bit. We'll see if it can fight out Destroyer. Yeah, then you want to come out on Anhyzer. Man, big difference. All right, guys, before we move on to forehands, as you can see, there's a pretty big difference in stability between the Defender and the Destroyer. And I think this Fusion Raider right here by Dynamic Discs would compare better to the Destroyer. So I'm gonna throw this in there on some forehands. I'll throw it on the backhand to start out. But this is a -0.53. This is a -1.3, and the Defender's a 0.3. So you get to see a bit more comparison, I think, and similarity between these two than the Defender, but we'll see how it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out with a Raider. I'm just gonna pump it out there flat, maybe a bit of Hyzer, and y'all will get a sense for the stability of this thing. So we'll go ahead and start out with that. All right, that was honestly on a pretty good amount of Hyzer. Flipped up the flat, rode straight, faded at the end. So it's basically in between both of those. Now we're gonna move on to forehands between the main comparison of the video, which is the Defender and the Destroyer. But I wanted to throw the Raider in there so you guys can get kind of a sense of if this is too flippy, this is too stable, that may be your option. But we will go ahead and go Hyzer forehands with both of these discs. Oh, that was a little bit of a wobbly forehand, but it held the Hyzer the whole way, so. And you guys know if I can't flip this on my backhand, it's not flipping on the forehand, but I'll throw it anyways. Look at that. Look at that. So overstable, it's crazy. Oh my, yeah. All right. So flat, I released it flat, and it immediately started turning over. All right, here we go, Defender flat. All right, so Destroyer started turning, and it would have turned and then eventually faded out. And then the Defender goes dead straight with fade at the end. So we'll move on to Anhyzer. Okay, last but not least, we got Anhyzer forehand. Now, as you guys have seen, this Destroyer likes to turn. And so when I put it out there on the Anhyzer, if I rip it, it's gonna cut roll. So I'm gonna try my best to get this full flight for you guys. The Defender, I'm gonna throw a little bit harder than the Destroyer, if you guys are wondering. But we'll try to see if I can get full flight out of both. This is definitely probably the touchiest shot, so we'll see how we do. Come on, fight it. Alright guys, I believe that went off frame. I believe that the camera centered generally towards here, so I believe that went too far to the right. But I actually did get full flight. It held the whole way. So that's the flight for the Destroyer on the flex forehand. It kind of just held the whole way. On the turn, Defender here. Alright, I pretty much hammered that thing. Obviously, I didn't put it on a lot of angle, but I put it on a little bit. It rode it and S-curved out. So I'm gonna go pick those up, and then I'll give you guys kind of my final thoughts here. All right guys, so overall these discs have a lot of similarities. Even though the Defender has one more speed and the Destroyer has -1 turn opposed to 0 turn, these have a lot of differences. The Defender, very overstable. No matter pretty much every single angle I put this on, it always faded out, it always came back. The Destroyer, more understable. That -1 makes a big difference. On Hyzer, it'll flip. On flat, it'll turn, and then it'll hold on Anhyzer. So you're gonna get a little bit different shot shapes out of this as you would a Defender. Now the Raider that I threw earlier also is gonna be very similar to this. It's gonna pretty much fly the same way. If you guys want me to make a comparison video with the Raider, let me know in the comment section down below. That's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.